I mean, for a reader, it's very, very endearing as it has points that you can run onto and dwell in. I think that's a very, very good point because I don't think people understand the jargon of putting history and thriller together. Your research is very, very evident, considering you need so much to do when you work on anything related to history. There's also this another edge of feminism. I think the portrait of women you've done is, I know, very non-spontaneous, but very, very profound and beautiful at the same time. Because people at that time faced so much of patriarchy that the type of decision-making and strength that women have in this book, I think that is so much more than we can even discuss and put into words. The portrayal of values and the way each character is written, I think it's so much worthwhile. And ma'am has done so much justice to whatever she put it in the novel. And I think this is an amazing book to the reader. There's also this thing that we all know that it's set in a time that is not followed today, customs that we don't see today. So I think it's very well put together as per the time that it was set in and appropriate for the reader to be reading it in today's time. So I think that's very entertaining.
Which character do you think Swati was, which fascinated you, like a character?
I think one would be the queen because she's ruled the kingdom for so many years without any man besides her. Of course, there was the angle of her father, but I think it's very hard for women to take that sort of responsibility.
Because Queen Prabhavati Gupta, not many people have heard. And this book is set in the Gupta period, which is basically around 400 CE. And Prabhavati Gupta ruled for 20 years at that time. And I just imagine not much is known about her, even in terms of research and books that are written. And for her to hold the ground for 20 years, yes, her father played a role, but I'm sure she faced a lot of rivalry and enmity, because in the Vakataka kingdom there was another branch that was trying to always intervene, and for her to hold off, I mean, she's one of the characters that I personally admire as well. Thank you very much.
Shankar's grandmother was one of my favorites, yeah. Every time she came out to me, you spoke about her, her wise words, her intelligence was so evident. So I think for me it was her. I really enjoyed the character again. So we have Ahana Chandel now. She's a class 9 student at Swaran Public School, an avid reader and a persistent writer who constantly strives to improve. Ahana is also a confident orator and excels in academics. Her dedication, curiosity, and love for learning make her a well-rounded and promising student. So, Ahana, what do you want to say about the book, The Curse of Academia?
First of all, good afternoon, most respected writers, authors, dear audience present over here. I, Ahana of 9th class from Swaran Public School, am present in front of you all for the book review. The book allotted to me is Curse of Anukaka, written by Ma'am Shriniwas. This is a really fantabulous book. The character arranged in this book is so fantastic. When I get the book and look at its cover, I can't stop myself to read this book. The story is so good that when I read a page, I always have the curiosity that what will happen next. But there are a lot of characters. After 3-4 pages, there was a new character. Sometimes I got quite confused about it. And story when I should have died because of its evil and bad past. And this is done by his own son-in-law. The investigation of his murder by Shah Khan and his companions was really excellent. The thing I liked about it is its touch to our ancient culture. But I think its ending is quite simple but good. At the end, I would like to say that everyone must read this book. This is a really fantastic book, especially if you love investigation stories. Thank you and have a nice day.